time to take a look at another keyboard, and in this one, we're straying away from the small in this belt. This is a long box, way longer than anything that we've taken a look at recently. This is the Kemove K98SE, the bigger brother of one of my favorites. Let's get it unboxed and tested. But before we continue with the video, let's keep the lights on here in the studio. This video was brought to you by Sneak Attack Design Lab. They're a clothing company that specializes in technical fashion, more commonly known as techwear, and you can see me in their clothes in most of my videos. I've been supporting their brand ever since I met them back in 2019, and now they're returning the favor. Head on over to the link in the description to get 10% off of your order from their site. Check their clothes out. You're bound to see something badass over there that'll look great on you. Thank you very much to Sneak Attack for this exclusive promo for my viewers. Now, back to the video. So the Kemove K98SE is the bigger 98-key version of the K87SE that we previously took a look at. What we have here is the 1980 SE version, so it comes in a retro look, which I appreciate very much. It comes in a simple long white box with just a few hits of chrome lettering here at the front. At the back, we can see why this unboxing is pretty exciting for me. It's got a numpad, which means I can use it for editing. I like it already. Upon opening up the box, we can see the keyboard in a wax bag, but no padding at the sides for shipping protection. I would have liked to see some foam here, Kemove. Upon taking it out, we see the manual underneath as well as the USB-A to USB-C power and data cable. Remember, this is not a wireless keyboard, so you do have to plug it in to use it, just like in the 1980s. We also get the keycap puller, whose other end does not have a switch puller. Yes, the switches here are soldered in and are not replaceable. Pretty bare accessories for the K98SE, but then again, that's what we also experienced with the K87SE. So yeah, let's head on over to product tour. Before moving on to the product tour, I would just like to remind you that if you're liking the video so far, please consider subscribing. Less than 1% of the people watching my videos are subscribed to the channel. Subscribing is free and greatly helps me in continuously creating content for this channel, and of course, is always greatly appreciated. Alright, let's head on over to the product tour. Wow, alright, as we can see, the Kemove K98SE is a large white 98-key all-plastic mechanical keyboard that shares design DNA with the K87SE. But unlike its cream, sky blue, and orange smaller brother, the K98SE has a cooler cream, blue, and dark blue colorway. I like it. Here at the right side, we can see the feature that excites me the most, which is the numpad. Look, I edit a lot of videos for my day job, so I usually have to switch to my Logitech Craft when I'm editing particularly number input heavy VFX projects in After Effects. Moving on down to the sides, we can see the dotted texture and the light bar. Keep in mind, this is not RGB, it is a single light keyboard. At the top, we have a singular USB-C port for power and data, and at the underside, we can see the incredibly patterned and textured case with an abundance of rubber feet and two-stage flip-up feet. It's always good to see. Going back to the top, we can see that the keys are ABS double shot with a nice texture to them. One thing I'd like to note is that these keycaps are significantly more grippier with a more pronounced texture compared to the keycaps on the K87SE. They're not obvious when looking at them side by side, so I thought I'd point that out. Lastly, we can see the Kemove branded blue switches. I specifically asked for clicky switches from Kemove this time because I expected myself to be using this for work and not gaming. So yeah, clicky switches it is. According to the Kemove website, these are pre-lubed, which I will take their word for. They do feel pretty smooth for a standard blue switch. Lastly, upon pulling off the spacebar, we can see the cherry-style stabilizers, and I can confirm that they are also pre-lubed. Plus, we can see here that there is a sandwiched layer of EVA foam in between the case and the PCB. And that's where we're going to end our product tour. I usually take apart keyboards at this stage, but unfortunately the Kemove K98SE is a sandwich-style plate with no screws holding them together. So it becomes very difficult to tear this apart, and it also risks damaging the hinges of the case. So please let me know in the comments if you want me to tear this apart, and I'll do a separate video for that. So for now, let's get this plugged in and let's head on over to software. Upon opening up the software, we are immediately greeted by the key function page where we can assign button functions to the keys of the K98SE. As we can see here, there are even options to bind mouse actions, macros, and shortcuts to different keys. I think this will be great for some of you, as you can bind these to the numpad if you have no use for the number keys. It's as if you have a little macro pad here at your keyboard. Next page we have is macro recording. This is just where you can record and edit macros, save them, and you'll be able to assign them to a key in the previous page. This is pretty standard among these keyboards, so I won't go into much detail here. Next we have is lighting. Do remember that the K98SE only comes in a single color blue light. No RGB. So all lighting effects here are just animations of the same blue backlight. But yeah, you can choose from an array of animations here, even a user-defined one. It is pretty neat, but it's not as dazzling as a per-key RGB keyboard. Next page we have is music, which just controls the background lighting to display volume levels. There's only one rhythm option, and you can adjust the amplitude, which controls how animated the keyboard is relative to the loudness of your music. Lastly, we have the settings page, which just has the keyboard software version and a restore to factory settings button. Alright, that's everything about the Kemove K98SE. Let's head on over to the most important part, the sound test. So for this sound test, since I've requested this unit to have clicky switches, we'll be putting it head-to-head against my other clicky keyboards, the Kemove K66 with Box white switches, and my heavily customized Red Dragon Fizz with Unbox teals. Let's go. Alright, that was some intense clicky action, let me tell you that. As we heard, I'll probably rate the sound of the K98SE right under the Kemove K66 with Box switches. Look, it may be an unfair comparison since Box whites don't really have the same click mechanism as quote-unquote true clicky switches like the Kemove blues on the K98SE and the Unbox teals on the Red Dragon Fizz, but they do fill the same purpose, and they are, to me, objectively better than true clicky switches. But yeah, coming along second on that list is the Kemove K98SE. I really like that these Kemove blues come pre-lubed, because I remember my Unbox teals not being this smooth out of the box, so I had to lube them when I got them. Typing feel and sound is very standard for a blue switch keyboard, ergonomics are very comfortable, and I can immediately feel the quality and hard work that Kemove has infused into this product. It will feel a bit ringy to some people, especially to ones with heavy typing fingers or people who are not used to hearing clicky switches. But if you're a light typer and you want that typewriter feeling without being overtly noisy, this is a pretty good keyboard to get for that craving. So what do we think about the Kemove K98SE? I, for one, am pretty sold on it. It was actually upon my suggestion that Kemove send one over for evaluation. They were supposed to send me another keyboard, and what can I say, it didn't disappoint. For a keyboard that only costs around $50 or 3,000 pesos estimated, you're getting a well-made keyboard with thoughtful design, somewhat capable software, and okay switches. You do miss out on some features like per-key RGB lighting and 2.4 GHz wireless, but those features accrue cost and aren't really essential. Just nice to haves. I wouldn't recommend this for modders though, as the hard to open case and the soldered in switches risks too much of the keyboard to damage for easy modding. But for people looking to replace their daily drivers with something easygoing or even their workplace keyboard, this should be in your consideration. It's a solid offering at a great price. Great job here, Kemove. So that's the Kemove K98SE 1980. Do you have any questions about it? Leave them down in a comment and I'll do my best to answer them. While you're there, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. That's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.